everybody, how are you today? I've got some hot rollers in, obviously. I'm trying to take a little hair shortcut, and this is my 5-piece like heated Conair hot roller set that I've had for years, and I stumbled across somebody else using it on TikTok recently, and they're like, these are the rollers I swear by. I thought, I'll try them too. Also in this video, I'm gonna be trying a little different complexion combo of products just to see how I like them together. It's just a little experimental day, but I'm so happy that you guys are here with me. I gotta say this morning, shout out to Biddy. She kicked a goal yesterday in soccer. We were like, something I've realized is that goals are really hard to come by. Like, everybody is out there fighting for it really hard. This is 1st and 2nd grade soccer. It's aggressive. And I just didn't realize, like, wow, no, you're just not gonna plan on like kicking it in there. And she was able to do it yesterday. Just shot to the right part of the goal and it went in and the crowd went wild. It was awesome. I'm so happy for her. Last game of the season and the whole team was just doing great. So Bub was thrilled. He's been coaching them this year. Anyways, I'm gonna start off with this. The Rimmel Multitasker Better Than Filters. I wear this in 003 Light, and this to me can kind of act like a foundation substitute, sort of. It's one of those lightweight glowy primers, but yet I really think my skin looks super pretty and really evened out after I use it. So if I'm going for a lighter day, this can kind of be that all over step and maybe not put foundation on top of it. See, it's really pretty. So what I'm going to do today is try doing this and doing concealer and then topping with a little powder foundation and just see how I like that look. And I'm just buffing this in with my Profusion buffing brush. Just getting everywhere. But the game they played yesterday, they don't usually have a Sunday game, but there was a lot of stuff that had to be rescheduled when we had all that rain. Games were canceled for like, might have been over a week. And so we ended up playing this team that's really, really good. Like, just a fantastic team. And we've had to play them like a couple of times. And the girls just came out guns blazing yesterday. There that is all over. Don't you think it's a profoundly beautiful difference from like where you start to just putting this on? I love this stuff. Yeah, it's adding some glow, but it also just really tackles that light coverage element too. So that's on all over. Then I thought, let's do some e.l.f., some Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is Light Peach. Man, I might have an empty on my hands before long. I think I got a lot on that eye. But dotting around. And then I will spread that out. This happens to be my Sephora 71 brush. It's just like a little flat, kind of mimics a fingertip, really. And we're swiping it upward, trying to actually get some lift out of this. It's amazing what one dot can do. That's why I think it's so important to take the time to spread it out. Now we're working over a lot of surface area. Okay, and I can go back to that first brush I was blending the Rimmel Better Than Filters with. Just press over this. Yes. Nice, even under eye coverage with a little extra hydration. Don't those two products pair beautifully together? Now that you see that concealer blended out and you can kind of still see the glow underneath, it's like, yeah, that looks good. Then I want to try just taking my Tower 28 powder, my Get Set Palisades Pink. I really want to give this the starring role of under eye setting today, not just kind of go in afterwards and brighten up. So I'm picking some of that up with my triangle puff, and I'm just going to go straight in with it and see how that looks on the under eye. I think that looks good. I'm going ahead and pressing it in around the T-zone as well. Why not? And I wonder also, like, what if I just put this powder on? I'm just thinking, going into the pressed version, go in with a brush. I think I might even like the brush application better for some odd reason. That's good. And you could stop there, but my skin's still really juicy. And I'm just kind of curious what some Balance and Brighten would do on top of this multitasker here. So I have Balance and Brighten in Light. It's that marbled, swirled effect, baked powder foundation. This is not her fullest coverage option, okay? If you wanted fuller coverage, you could get into the double take range. But this is also just the Laura Geller angled retractable brush. Kind of stamp it in there and just buff it in. You're really seeing that medium coverage, but like it's not super flat. And part of it's because this isn't 100% flat finish on this powder, but also the glow, this underneath. Like I just had a hunch these would be pretty together, and I think I was right. So I kind of start stamping it over the area where I want that powder to go, and then buff. Get it on, stamp, 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 buff. Little buffs, little swipes. Whatever you feel like you can get by with without totally disrupting everything underneath. And I will say I got this particular compact of Balance and Brighten more recently, and it's softer, like more comes off on my brush than what used to with an older compact that I have. So I think that's interesting. And even though I've got some setting powder on my nose, I'm just gonna like pass over that area. I think that's a really pretty and fresh looking powder foundation routine. And my skin still has just a little bit of a dewy feel to it. Like it's not a super dry situation right now, so that's interesting. So now I'll go on with my other face steps. This was just mainly going to be a complexion oriented video, but I'm going to use my butter bronzer. I have this in the sculpting shade in my single, and I'm going to use some of this up around my hairline. I'm just using my little Sephora angled brush. My hair is kind of trying to get into it. Okay, I think I'm ready for the smell of this powder now. Sometimes you smell butter bronzer and it's like the middle of winter and you want to be smelling cinnamon and spice. Now I'm like, it's okay. I can take those tropical scents. Are you that way with the body sprays too? Like I have all these different Bodycology mists, and some of them are definitely more summery, and I really don't want to use the stuff that's too summery in the wintertime. Also, Bodycology is now making hand soaps too. Be on the lookout for that. We love the smell of the strawberry cheesecake, I think it is. Is it strawberry cheesecake? Questioning myself. It's a strawberry something body mist. And the other day we were in those aisles and I'm like, they have the soap in that scent. Okay, so we're getting a little bronzed up. And then I've been like continually playing with these different little Morphe compacts that I was sent. The ones that have the 2 finishes of creams and then a powder down below. And I really like this one called Cabana Club. It's kind of giving that reddish corally look, you know. The cream is just really good. So I'm stamping this on with a Sephora 56 brush. Just really fresh. Don't you love that? Oh, I'm nuts about that color. Might be one of my faves of the whole bunch, if not my top favorite, because I've gotten to everything. There's a lot of different shades. I really like the light cool pink too. Building a little bit more. It can be a major color, so you want to be kind of soft with it. I really like their deepest shade too, because it reminds me a lot of my Patrick Ta. And then this shade down here, this has just a little bit of sheen to it, but it's still like ultra colorful. So if you want to play with that finish, you can, you know, just layer up a little bit of a slightly glowier finish, whereas the first one was just straight up creamy. And some of the other ones, that shade shows more glow, and here the glow is pretty minimal. Anybody's cats turn into little busybodies in the morning. They just have to be everywhere and check everything. That's cute. And then down here at the bottom is your powder. So you can shut that window. Got your powder. And that's what really comes off as true coral to me. But just pick up a little because this is intense again. But it's so satisfying. If you really like to see some blush on your cheeks and you like to feel this kind of actually sun-kissed look, I think this is a super pretty option. And then highlighter, I'm taking my little one from Milani, Strobe Light Instant Glow Powder Afterglow. A little bit of this. This is so smooth and just like a really nice pigmented pearly powder with no big flakes. And I always think it looks pretty kind of just sitting there on the top of the cheek. Like, it just brings everything together. Letting a little bit come up here to the hairline. We can do Cupid's bow with that. I can't get over how good this complexion looks right now, the way we combined that stuff. And if you don't want to do Laura Geller, there are other awesome like powder foundations out there from the drugstore that could come in, and a lot of them might look a little more matte, like the e.l.f. Halo Glow pressed powder, pretty matte, but still like would come in and boost up your coverage even more. And the Maybelline Superstay Hybrid Powder Foundation, really good, but my skin just looks really, really nice, and not a lot of weight on it either, you know. So I'd say this was a successful complexion routine. I'm gonna finish things up and I'll be right back. Alrighty friends, here's what's up for the rest of the look. I did my brows, which I used my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I was sent a new one of those and I've just kind of been working that in sometimes. I set with my CoverGirl Clean Fresh Brow Gel Wax, and then I don't know if it's just the fact that I've redone my like smaller eyeshadow storage, and I'm just like super happy with the way that drawer is, so I keep wanting to use my smaller stuff. But I decided to use this one from Wet n Wild. It's called Gold Whip. So this came out more recently. You know, Walking on Eggshells has been around forever, and more recently this one called Gold Whip comes out, and I used it quite a while back, and I remembered saying like, this is no walking on eggshells. It needs a mid-tone. It's got like these two dark browns and then the light shades. And I decided to give it another shot today. And again, like, it's not as good as Walking on Eggshells, but I just felt like I'd pretty much written it off after only using it once. Basically, you just have to be more careful with the dark shades, and instead of starting off with a mid-tone in the crease, I just kind of start patting that dark shade in, kind of getting it swirled up into the crease, and then buff, and then use a lighter shade inward and the light matte up above. I used a couple of regulars on the rest of the eye. I used my Brown Abyss Lace Shadow Stick from L'Oreal for smudgy upper liner, and then I've got to stop just reaching for Cold Brew all the time for the lower lash line. It's just the perfect tone for like a smudgy bronzy brown, and that's always just what works. Like today, again, that one worked. On my lashes today, it's kind of still getting dry, so I'm reinforcing that curl, but it's the Rimmel Thrill Seeker up top and the e.l.f. Lash Extender on the lower lashes. If you're new here, e.l.f. Lash Extender is a tubing mascara, so you don't have to worry about it smudging. And then on my lips, I've got some Revlon Color Stay Lip Liner in Nude. I applied it pretty lightly. Like, you could use a little more pressure. You could fill in the entire lips fully and it would come off a bit darker. But I wanted to go for a lighter lip, so I went around the outside, but then I kind of smudged it inward, you know? And then Lawless has put out several different strawberry themed Forget the Filler plumping glosses. I've got the one on called Strawberry Shortcake, and it's kind of the most nude of the bunch. Like, if you look at that tone, you think, okay, that's kind of like a nude, maybe hint of pink in there. Smells really good. Really good strawberry scent on all of these. Kind of makes you think like a Nestle Quick vibe, but they've got strawberry milkshake as well and strawberry popsicle. So that would be the more intense one, and this would be the more pinky one with the strawberry milkshake. But that really makes me think of strawberry milk. So I've just been kind of trying out those, playing around. I will take these rollers out. So basically, as you can see, these are big jumbo rollers, and the idea is that they give the hair some shape, not necessarily a lot of curl. When you're dealing with this length of hair, unless you're pulling in like a really small roller, we're gonna be talking volume. But like, I kind of like how it just, you know, gets some wave going. I'm gonna tip my head over. Like, you can just get so much going. And compared to the Velcro rollers, I know I've talked about how those Velcro rollers that I have are pretty smoothing, and those can honestly do a great job of just getting any kinks out of your hair and just making it look really smooth. This gives, as you can see, a little more curl and a little more just like long-lasting body to the whole look. We could middle part it if we want to. I kind of prefer flipping it over on the side part because my bob is just one length of hair all over, and it looks a little less like mushroomy when I do a side part, because you kind of do actually get a little layered effect that way. But yeah, that's my look today, friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was mainly about the complexion, and I think it turned out so good. So that's a combo I will definitely be wanting to repeat. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you again soon. I love you. Bye.